Hey guys, welcome back to J Soccer Tips, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you another odd that can actually get you over 1.5 goals, and this particular odd as well can also get you double chance, but I'll be focusing on the over 1.5 goals aspect of this particular odd. The odd in some cases can also give you over 3.5 goals, both teams to score, full-time draw. But those actually require you playing more tickets and splitting these particular odds into various structures to actually win those kind of bets. Now, I'm going to be putting you through the examples on how you can get this odd and how you can work with it for over 2.5 goals and the likes. But the focus here will be on over 1.5 goals, and maybe at the end of the video I might also show you how you can make use of it for double chance. So let's get started. Now, if you're just coming across this channel for the first time, or you've been watching my videos and not subscribed yet, please kindly subscribe, turn on post notification, like and share my videos so you don't miss out on future updates, and that can also as well motivate me to create more videos like this. So this is RedScores that I've saved. RedScores is one of the best places you can actually get Bet365 odds from, though you can get it from Bet365 website itself. You can get it from AI scores, but I prefer using RedScores. You can also get it from Soccer24 or Flash Score if you are in the Europe where they display Bet365 odds, but over here in Africa we don't get Bet365 odd on Flash Score. Some countries do have it, but over here in Nigeria particularly, we don't get Bet365 odds. So I only use this for analysis, and I get my odds from RedScores. And if you're new to betting odds, make sure to watch the video on Betting Odds Explained so you can actually get insights on how to use odds in making predictions. So what I'll be looking out for this particular page, I have saved it. So what I do is this: I come online in the morning, I open the website, and I press Ctrl S to save this particular page so that the odd does not update while I am working on it or making analysis for the day. So that is the reason I usually save my pages. So most times when you don't save it, this odds will update and you'll see a different odd from what you've gotten. Now, if you want to do in-depth analysis, that can actually help you. But when you're actually on the go making predictions, that will actually affect how you see a particular game. So it's better to just stick with what you get when you open this page and make your predictions with that. So what I do is I'm going to search for 1.7 odd. 1.7 odd. Now this is one odd that happens to give you double chance a lot and also happens to give you over 1.5 goals. I can use this odd for full-time draw. Matter of fact, I was studying this particular odd for full-time draw when I actually discovered that it could give me over 0.5 goals, and when I tried to fine-tune it, I realized that it could also give me over 1.5 goals, more of over 1.5 goals. The rate at which it wins for over 1.5 goals is actually very high. So that is why I decided to make this odd one of the odds you can actually use for over 1.5 goals. I'm not going to use analysis for this video. There's no analysis, and I'm not going to consider the leagues in this video as well, high scoring leagues or low scoring leagues. I'm just going to work with the odds so you can actually see how this plays out. So this is Lens, Monaco. This is a low scoring league, as we are aware. Normally we would want to avoid games from this kind of league, but because it's having 1.7 odd, without analysis, without considering the away or the draw odd, I could go ahead and pick this game as a game that will give me over 1.5 goals. Now let's say I'm having on my bookie, let me search for Lens. Now what you get as the odd for a game like this is around 1.1 or so for over 1.5 goals. Now 1.19, so almost 1.20, and there might be a lot of these games online for any day. So this is Lens, this is one game. We can go ahead to make the next one. Now we're ignoring games like 1.75, which I've showed you on a separate video, and you can watch that video on my channel to know what that actually means. So we are focusing just on 1.70, right? 1.70. If I search for 0 here, I won't get it on RedScores, but without the 0 you can actually see 1.7 on RedScores. Now the next game we are looking out for will be Notts County. Now let me search for Notts County. That's the second game for today. We'll be observing for this particular odd. So this, like I said, this game can actually give you over 1.5 goals and double chance. You can get you double chance when making predictions for this, but we're focusing on the over 1.5 goals because I actually don't like making wins predictions and double chance predictions. Those I think those are more difficult to predict than a team to score, because anybody can actually score in a football match. So 1.5, you can see this is 1.28 for over 1.5 goals for this particular game. This is Leganes, Spain, a low scoring league, but we would also consider this. So we're going to see how many of these games win for the day. There will be a lot of these games that would actually win for the day compared to how many of these will actually lose. So this is Leganes without analysis, Spain, a low scoring league. Consider this for over 1.5 goals. Now this is 1.36. That is the advantage of having games like this, odds like this. Sometimes you would even see some that will be up to 1.5 odd for over 1.5 goals, which is unusual, but it might actually play out. So if we keep on scrolling, looking for the next 1.7. Now this is an away 1.7. I would not go for this because I figured out that it is the home team that actually delivers these particular outcomes I'm going for. Now this is Union Espanola. Now we have Union Espanola. We can then come over to over 1.5 goals. You see 1.28. Another low scoring league, but like I said, I am not considering the leagues. I am not making analysis for games like this. I just use these odds without having to make use of analysis, and they actually deliver. So we'll go over to search for another game. We've gotten 4 so far. And now we are having this particular game from England, high scoring league, South Shields. So that is the 5th game. So South Shield versus Telford over 1.5 goals. We are having 1.1 odd. Now you can see this is smaller because it's a high scoring league from one of the English amateur leagues, Vanaraman National League. So it's an amateur league, and you can see it is smaller because they expect goals from games like this, from leagues like this. Now we keep on going for other matches having this particular odd. We have from Germany another high scoring league, Alessia. Let's search for this. Over 1.5 goals, 1.24 odd. Now we have 6 games you are looking out for. With these 6 games, you are having 3.7 odd, which is almost basically 4 odd. So if you are putting in something like 50,000 or any amount, you are actually getting like 4 times that particular stake. So I believe one of the games just started, and that is Leganes. Leganes just started while we are checking out this game. So some of the games might be starting now. Let's proceed to see other games before they actually kick off. So and then we have this particular team Leopards, which is from Kenya. We can see what the odd for Leopard actually is. Now that's a low scoring league. Remember, Africa is one of these low scoring leagues, so you can decide to avoid a game like this if you want to. You can decide to avoid it. There's no harm avoiding teams in Africa having this particular odd, or teams in very low scoring leagues having this particular odd. But just for the sake of this video, we are going to see what this actually delivers for us as well, having this particular odd. So over 1.5, we are having 1.62 odd. So you see, this is the highest odd we have for this particular 1.7 odd home team. Now this is high, like super high. You might see that this is not one of the best games to actually go for. When you have other teams having 1.2, 1.3 odd, this is telling you that this particular game is difficult. That is why it is this high, 1.6. So you might want to avoid this, or you might want to put it in, but let's leave it in and just assume we predicted with this African team. So we keep on scrolling for other odds having this outcome. We have Legia in Poland. We can see what Legia delivers us. Legia is also from a low scoring league. I usually don't use that for high scoring games, for goals games. And this is 1.32 odd for Legia over 1.5 goal. We can keep on scrolling for other games. Elgin in Scotland. I usually don't play from Scotland. I don't like Scotland League. I don't like the Scottish leagues, so I avoid playing from Scotland League 1, League 2, or wherever. You can play from these leagues, but I won't focus on making predictions from 1 year. I just don't like Scotland. They've disappointed me a lot. Celtic, Rangers, they've all disappointed me, so I stopped playing from this particular league. So that is it for today. We have 8 games. It was 9, I think the other game So it's eight game, and the odd reduced due to this other game that I've kicked off. So I believe they reduced this particular odd. So that is it for today, and we're going to check out these games at the end of the day to actually see how this particular odd fares. Now, if I had wanted to go for another option for this particular game, like I said about the over 2.5 goals and it's being able to deliver both team to score and over 3.5 goals in some cases, it can as well deliver double chance. Like I said, for double chance the odd is actually a bit smaller, right? It's actually a bit smaller. Now let's see, I'm going for lens. What I'll be getting is 1.22. It's also a good odd, but there are some games where the odd would not make sense. So let's just look for maybe not County. That was the second game. Now you can see this is 1.18. So compared to when you play over 1.5 goals, which in the literal sense of it, these notes might not actually deliver double chance, but they might end up playing 1-1 or 2-1 to the away team on bad days. Now let's say we went for over 1.5 goals. You can see over 1.5 goals is having 1.28 odd. So usually when I play for value and not just the meaning of the odd. So if I had gone for double chance, we are having 1.18 odd. But if I went for over 1.5 goals, we are having 1.28 odd. So you can see that using over 1.5 goals is clearly more profitable than going for double chance. So for the over 2.5 goals, over 3.5 goals, if I wanted to play it, I would play like this. You can see this is over 2.5 goals having 1.87 odd. Now if I played two of these games for lens and nuts as over 2.5 goals, you can see this is 2.94 odd, right? 2.94 odd. Now I usually don't like playing over 2.5 goals standalone, so most times I might go for over 2.5 goals or both team to score. So if I'm already going for the riskier bet, I will not go for a risky bet like over 2.5 goals because it's kind of low for the odds value I'm looking for and for the risk I'm taking. So I would rather go all out and take more risk with this. So I know that when I'm playing two games, I'm getting more value for it. So what I will do is come over to places like specials, both team to score and over 2.5 goals is what I am looking for. Okay, and this is it. Over and under, over slash under, and go no go. So you can see this particular game now is telling us over 2.5 goals and go yes as 2.25 odd. Now I can go for this, and as well let me check for the second one. We just picked for North County. Now let's search for lens. So you would also see that this particular game, both team to score over and under and go, which is they have to score over 2.5 goals, and they also have to play both team to score. Now there's no guarantee that this would actually win though. There's no guarantee. I just like using this when I'm not playing the safer option over 1.5 goals. I rather go for the risky bet, which is that option, and actually win with a few games. So I split that total number of 1.7 odd and start playing as doubles to actually get maybe 4 odd or 5 odd per each double. Now this is the particular game for Lens um, and Monaco. You can see this odd is smaller, over 2.5 goals and both team to score. But with both games now, having both games on a ticket, I'm getting 4 odd. So you see, with just two games, I can take this risk and get 4 odd. Which, if I had the option to pick over 3.5 goals and go, I would have gone for that. But I don't think that is actually available on here. I don't think it's actually available on this bookie. Over 3.5 goals and go. That would have been one of the best picks to actually go for. And we'll be having up to 6 or 7 odd with just two games. Now, because if I go over to search for the goals option, like the goals for over 3.5 goals, we can actually see that over 3.5 goals is 2.40 for this particular game. While for North County, over 3.5 goals, I believe also will be close to cherry odds. So cherry odds. Now imagine having both teams to score alongside this particular odd. It means that the value you are getting for just two games is actually very high. So that is how I actually use this. If I want to play risky tickets, I play two 1.7 odd combined as over 2.5 goals and go. But if I'm not playing them combined like that as doubles, I would rather go for over 1.5 goals accumulated, maybe split into 6 places and then play for 4 odds each, or maybe play all together. Can get you up to 11 odd if you have 9 games or so having this particular odd for the day. So we'll come back at the end of the day to actually see what these 8 games that I selected today with 1.7 odd actually gives us. So don't forget, if you also want to get my ebook where I have put in some match odds that can help you win as a beginner, you can reach me on WhatsApp. The number is in the pinned comment. And if you want to become a member of J Soccer Tips, you can also reach me on WhatsApp. The number will also be in the pinned comment. So see you in the second half of this video. Bye. So guys, welcome back to the second half of this video. And just to mention, after I created this video in the morning, after I did the first half of this recording, I gave the ticket out to my followers on WhatsApp today, and it actually did win. So going through these games will be just me glancing through what I said in the morning. Over here, we got our win. This is flash score on my account, and we got all the games I picked out: Leisure Warsaw, Taxian, Longsford, Puskas. They all won over 1.5 goals. And like I said earlier, the voting to score option actually comes through over 2.5 goals, sometimes over 3.5 goals actually comes up, even though sometimes they don't win that, which I said over 1.5 goals is actually the best to go for, rather than going for the more risky bet of 3.5 voting to score, full-time draw, you get. So that is it with this, and we actually did win this. This is someone else bet from my WhatsApp status that actually won this on Sportybet. So you can see that this particular game does win at 1.7 odd for the home team when it has 1.7 odd. No, for the home and away though. Home and away. Now we can just go through here to see if double chance actually played out as well for these particular games. So we already know the games we picked, which was, if we use the RedScore app, 1.7, which the first game was Lens, and from flash score we can see Lens gave us Cherry 2. So voting to score was a game that played out here. Over 2.5 goals played out here. Over 3.5 goals and go played out here as well. But what we are looking for was over 1.5 goals, and we got it in this game. Now the next one was remember, it was 1.7 we're looking for, Notts County. So Notts County. Now this was done without analysis. Now Notts County gave us 5-0. You can see this is also over 3.5 goals, though no both team to score, though no full-time draw, but you got over 1.5 goals, over 2.5 goals, over 3.5 goals. That is what this odd is capable of giving you. And I think North County was the home team, so they actually gave us double chance here. Why Lens? I think Lens lost, which was so Lens did lose against Monaco 3-2, and that is why we did not go for the double chance option. The safest using this odd is actually over 1.5 goals. And if we head over to check out which other game had 1.5 goals, now this is Leganes. Like I said, low scoring league, and it actually delivered as well. Lens was also a low scoring league, and it also delivered. So you can see that using predictions, using odds in making predictions is not actually difficult if you know what you are doing. That is why I have my ebook that tells you about match odds, how you can use it as a beginner, and some odds that you can actually use in winning those bets. And if you don't want to make predictions yourself, you can join me on my membership. The number is in the pinned comment. You can get my ebook as well. The number to hit me up on WhatsApp is on the pinned comment. So if we look out for Leganes played 1-1, and this was a game that I believe they must have scored a late goal, because I followed it up and Leganes scored early. I think one of the teams scored early, and then I was waiting for a second goal. So this guy scored early, 30th minutes in the game, and the second goal came 89 minutes. So you see, it was a tough game, but they still gave us over 1.5 goals. So that is what this odd is capable of doing. We already saw that we won the bet, but let's just go ahead and complete this. This particular game, Bailey's Bows, I don't think we'll play this game. Bailey's, I don't think we'll play this. but they also gave us over 1.5 goals. Maybe it was played. I don't think we played this because I usually don't play from places like Albania, Scotland. There are some leagues I usually don't play from. So I think that should be one of the games I avoided, and maybe the Scotland game in the morning I avoided that. So we'll still go ahead to check out those particular games as well. So this avoiding some games also helps me win. But if I added this particular game to it, my odd would have gone up. It might still be here, but so it's not here. So I did not add it. So if I had added this particular game, it also won, and it could have given us more than the odd we won on this ticket. So back to red scores. Karabag was postponed, so we didn't make use of this for today. This is Cambodia. I don't play leagues from this particular kind of leagues. I've never played for Cambodia before. So but let's just see what they gave us. And this was 12. I believe I was making this video when this game was on. So you can see they actually gave us 2-0. But by the time I was making this video around 12 in the morning, when I was making the first half of this video, and this game might have been going on then, and they actually gave us over 1.5 goals as well. So you can see that almost all the games we've picked gave us over 1.5 goals. Even those I did not include on my tickets are still giving us that outcome. Espalona from Chile, another low scoring league, but let's see. So let's search for Chile because I can't seem to get it. Premier B. So on RedScores, we did not open Premier B. Okay, flash score. Now you see, this is Union Espaluna, still gave us 2-0. I don't know if I played this on our bet today, but that is another game that's on here that also gave us over 1.5 goals despite not being on our ticket. You can see that this particular odd is very potent when it comes to over 1.5 goals. So I don't need to say much. We can keep on going to just cover the odds for today and see other games. South End on my ticket. So we have South End, Chile nil, over 1.5 goals, over 2.5 goals played out on this game as well. If we keep on going, Tokwe should be here. Tokwe should be Vanarama National League South. And this is Tokwe 4-2, over 1.5 goals, both teams to score over 2.5 goals. So you see how powerful this particular odd is when it comes to over 1.5 goals. Most people make predictions using analysis, and then you're looking for games that would end up not giving you what you're looking for. The bookies have already done this analysis, and that is why the odds are here. That is why I made a video called Betting Odd Explained to actually help you guys who are new to betting, who don't have this insight, to actually make better predictions. So this is actually what you should be doing when making predictions, learning match odds. So there are many odds I don't even know about, a lot of odds I don't even know about. You guys can make research on that and feed me on those odds. So you can hit me up on WhatsApp, tell me about what you've discovered with match odds, and I can work on it or tell you if I've tried that before and it doesn't work. So that is how we actually improve together and beat these bookies. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on post notification, like and share my video. Most importantly, share my video so every other person out there understands the concept of odds and how to beat the bookies using match odds. So don't just watch it for yourself. The more winners we get, the better we are at making predictions. The more I can learn from you guys, and the more you can also learn from me. So let's see what other games we have for 1.7. South Shield was in National League North. So South Shield 2-2. You can see this also gave us both teams to score over 2.5 goals, full-time draw, and over 3.5 goals, over 1.5 goals as well. Now that is how you make predictions. Yeah, that is how you make predictions. So we are almost at the end of this. Share this also won from Germany. So LSH 2-0. This game actually gave us over 1.5 goals. So basically, all the games we've been picking today having this particular odd gave us over 1.5 goals. Now imagine what you can do with a odd like this. When you play as singles, doubles, or whatever, I accumulated everything and I won. Now, if you are separating all this, maybe on the days where you don't win everything, maybe one of these games loses, you can win the other half of the ticket, because not all games that will lose will be on what you've selected. So with the sheer amount of games that are winning when you play a odd like this, you are likely to avoid a few games even when they lose on any structure you come up with that can actually use this odd. So that is how you make predictions using Match Odd, and this is how you actually get over 1.5 goals. The best way to get over 1.5 goals. Now let's see this. This is Ghana. Okay, this is 1.75, so we can't work with this today. Now this is Leopard. This is one important games that I avoided this morning because I said it was from Kenya and African League. Now we have to see what this game actually gave us. It was 1.56. I remember when we checked it in the morning. It was 1.5, where I said it was actually a difficult odd. Based on how it looks, it was going to be a difficult odd. But 1.5, if I had added this to my tickets, trust me, we'll be having 20 odd. We'll be having 20 odd, because this was 1.5 when we checked this morning. But I removed it simply because it was an African team and it was too suspicious. It was too high for over 1.5 goals. 1.56 odd was just too high. It didn't make sense to me and I removed it. But if I had played it and trusted the bookies, trusted the odd that the bookie gave me, 1.70, I would have actually won more than the odd I did today. So maybe that is something you should also learn when making predictions, to trust the odd. The odds don't lie. Trust it and avoid sentiments when using it. I used sentiment and I avoided this particular game, which was a very good game. Now you see this is 2-1, but I did not go for this on my ticket. So that is for Kenya. Without analysis, this is what we've been able to do without any analysis. So this is Legia from Poland. This is Legia giving us 2-1, over 1.5 goals, both teams to score as well. And you can see the double chance as well does play out, because most of the favorites are 1.7 odd and they are the ones actually winning the game or getting us a draw. So them losing is also difficult when it comes to this particular odd. So double chance can also work very fine with this odd, but I prefer over 1.5 goals using this particular odd. And I think that should be all. This is Scotland Elgin. I don't usually pick Scotland. I said it in the morning and I've said it in some of my videos. I don't like playing from Scotland, but let's just see what they give us, because I believe Scotland is the only place that would disappoint you. Exactly what I said. And this is the only game that lost today using this particular odd. And like I said, I don't play Scotland because they tend to do the opposite of whatever good thing you think a odd would do. Even with analysis, if you think Celtic is going to win, Celtic will disappoint. If you think Rangers is going to win, Rangers will disappoint. And this has been happening since around 2023, 2022. This has been a pattern with this particular league, so I stopped betting on this league. Maybe it favors you, but it doesn't favor me. So I've stopped Scotland for so many years. I don't make predictions here. So that is it for this particular video. I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to give me a like, give me a shout out, leave a comment on any question you have, leave a comment on any insight you have. Hit me up on WhatsApp. The number is in pinned comment if you want my ebook. Also, if you want my membership, the number in the pinned comment. See you in my next video. Bye.